Hello, everyone. My name is Andreas Diaz. Me and Will are back today for another spectacular podcast on the Marvel Plus Talk on Hawkeye Episode 5. Will, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Excited to talk about Episode 5 for you,
hmm
with you. And
Yeah.
then also excited to see No Way Home later today. So,
Yeah, me too.
yeah. And I guess start right away. What's your overall thoughts on episode 5 of Hawkeye? Was this your favorite episode, or like overall? What's your thoughts on this episode?
I think this was my favorite one so far.
Okay, all right, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Elena. Um, I liked what we learned about her in this episode. Um, I thought uh, Barton, like spending time with girls was good.
Yes,
Um, the like confrontation with Maya. Um,
was also
yeah,
good.
and then of course the reveal at the end. So yeah,
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. The end. Yeah. Overall, this episode for me was definitely it's definitely my favorite episode because it just because last week we you and I discussed the potential, like maybe disappointment or just not the payoff of this, like theories or stuff like that that has been going on for the last, I don't know how many weeks, like a half a month ago right now.
hmm
And just like Loki, it actually came true, and I was like shocked about it when when obviously we're talking about the reveal that Kingpin is in the show. It's finally confirmed. I mean, you see the end credits of Hawkeye, Vincent D'Onofrio, right?
hmm
Vincent D'Onofrio was
D'Onofrio. Yeah.
yeah is credited in the end credits, and and he has been been vocal in Twitter and all that about
Yes.
this, and so yeah, so it came true, and I was just like, okay, so this is, and it helps more to get more excited with Echo. So I think was a good tease, and I think it could lead to the Echo spin-off show that we're gonna get next year, probably.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Kingpin's gonna be like the main antagonist of that show.
And I guess now we're discussing that. Do you think we're gonna see him fixedly in the show next week, or
Yeah, I do.
okay,
I don't think they would have teased him like that without showing him
yeah,
next week. And also, I watched the teaser for the next episode, and
oh,
there was one new shot of him.
oh,
So
oh my God, I need to check that out because I like Kingpin. He's one of my like he's probably my favorite Spider-Man villain and
okay,
Daredevil villain, of course.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean,
yes,
I loved Daredevil,
mm,
like the TV show.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, very excited to have him back.
I the fact that we got the reveal, I'm kind of excited if Daredevil was in No Way Home, just like a cameo to
Yeah, I've heard rumors.
yeah. If the
Yeah.
rumors are true, then because this confirmed, because it's no way you replace Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Well, Kevin Feige came out and said that if they were gonna have Daredevil in something, he'd be played by Charlie Cox.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about his comments. He did man. He did. We had that statement
Yeah.
last week.
And I did you see the video of him saying that?
I was looking for it, but
Okay.
I
It's
just
he was someone was interviewing him and Amy Pascal about Spider-Man, and someone asked him about that, and he gave that answer, but Amy Pascal like laughed in a way that implied that he is in Spider-Man.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, it's tough because I mean, I ever since the first teaser from Spider-Man No Way Home from what, like August or September or something like that.
Mhm.
Like when we got that shot of the Peter getting arrested, like people has theorized that his lawyer is going to be Matt, Daredevil. It,
Yeah,
it,
but
but at the time we don't know if Marvel Studios were gonna like what is it like include the Netflix show into their universe. And
mhm,
now this week, well, it kind of confirms that, and yes,
yeah,
it will be more confirmed in Spider-Man No Way Home, but
yeah, it does make it a lot more likely that the rumors are true.
yeah. But I guess to kind of like move away from Kingpin. We're all excited for that. I for last thing, it was very cool for the end credits to have Kingpin shadow over the
Hmm.
city.
Yeah.
That was like a cool touch. Um, and I love the using You're a Me one, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that killed me, and I was like, yes, perfect way like to reintroduce Kingpin in this universe is just using that fits his character so well. Yeah, so that's I want to bring up. And anything else you want to talk about the Kingpin stuff before we head into the other topics for this episode? Um,
Um, I mean, I'm surprised that Eleanor's working for him.
yes. I well, if she becomes Madam
Mask.
Mask or whatever,
Yeah.
it's definitely makes sense, especially if you well, it's different, but it makes sense from the comic series they're adapting or
Hmm.
or influence, of course, Matt Fraction run, where Kingpin was there actually in the Matt Fraction run.
Right.
So that was if you know this is was another cool Easter egg, but like great reveal. Like it was a great Easter egg for you, Matt Fraction fans, that Kingpin was in that book, and then Madame Max was there as well. So this definitely is lining up very straight to the Matt Fraction one, which is good, but in a different way, of course. Let
Mm-hmm.
me be very clear about that. They're going in a different direction, but it's everything what they're doing is from the Matt Fraction, which is great. So, um, yeah. So, so that's also a big confirm. Also, is she's also another uh antagonist.
Hmm.
But I guess my question is she gonna be is she gonna be like is she's gonna be like our main bad guy or our main bad guy for this show, and that Kingpin is like Red Skull slash like leader behind like the villain behind the scenes kind of person, right? Um, like
Yeah. Yeah, I
we,
think she'll be the main antagonist, and then Kingpin will he'll be there, and he might have like a fight scene, but I think they're primarily setting him up as the villain for Echo.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and then I wonder if we'll see like more characters from the Daredevil show in Echo.
yes. Yeah. So let's. I think it's good to go into Echo,
Hmm.
because there's a lot of questions about her. Like, um, first off, I really love Echo. I think she's probably the best character we have introduced in the Disney Plus shows. Um, she just another great deaf character we have. After Makari from
Hmm.
Eternals, and it was I was another twist happened in this episode. Besides the Kingpin, it Hawkeye mentions that he was tipped off about her father, and like he like so now is Kingpin the one responsible to tipping off Rowan to go after her father in that like Batman repair shop that we saw from the flashback. So do you
Mhm.
think that is like true? Like, is that gonna be the direction of the Echo Show, right? Um,
Yeah, I think so. And I think his name Kazi.
yes, Kazi.
Kazi.
That's yeah.
Um, I think he was Kingpin's like informant who like orchestrated that attack that had her
Ooh,
father killed.
that's oh my god, that'd be crazy. And yeah, and because the last scene you see Echo, she was talking to Castle. Um, like, do you know about the meeting and the tip off? And he
Hmm.
kind of denied that. And then we got like a little like long just linger scene of his face, and like oh no, she knows, and like he probably informed Kingpin about it, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, and speaking of Casco, I actually really like this character. Um he I know he's like he's like a different character from the manufacturer on. Of course, he's the clown, and I really like how we depict him in the show, and I like he's now it's kind of cool after who was the first one that was with Kingpin in the first season of Daredevil. I forgot his name. Was it um
Uh, Wesley?
Wesley? Thank you. Oh my god, it's been a while to see. It's been a while for Daredevil
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, so it's cool. Kingpin has now another assistant after Wesley died from the first season of Daredevil. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
spoil it for you haven't seen that season. Um, so that like he's also another hint about like that was another hint about Kingpin that was also pay off as well because he had connections with Kingpin, and so I was very happy we confirmed that as well.
Hmm.
So that was very cool. Yeah, so I'm very excited for the Echo show now, which is good. Um, and yeah, and I do have the question: is Karen and Froggy is gonna come back from the Daredevil show?
I
And
really hope so.
yeah, I I I, I mean, if Charlie Costa's coming back, then yeah, like they have to bring those two because I like those versions of those characters.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, especially Karen. I think
Hmm.
her character was very well developed and just they reinvented it like a classic Daredevil character that you know was like a hit and miss and and usually fortunately because Elektra um was very popular and like she was like always the main love interest that people use, besides Karen.
Hmm.
Besides her involvement like in the storyline Born Again when she tipped off Kingpin about the identity of Daredevil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I'm excited if I just want Bullseye to be in this universe.
Well,
Like,
yeah. I don't know if they're gonna bring Bullseye back. I have a feeling they're gonna keep it to like the core
mhm,
cast. But I would like I would love to see him because I thought he was great in season 3.
I know. Well, well, yeah, I agree. I you need Bullseye. Like besides Kingpin, like Bullseye and Kingpin are like the two major. I mean, there's other villains in there. There has a rose gang, but like,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm worried. I think they're gonna bring Daredevil back, but they might not like give him his own show or movie.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
this is true. We'll see. I mean, I you do need like I think Daredevil can help like handle his own show and movie because
Well,
he's the,
yeah.
oh
Like I
I'm
want
sorry.
him to.
Yeah, I
I
know.
want him to. I don't think Marvel's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I think they don't want to like they've talked about it being like a soft reboot, so they won't want to reference too much of what happened in the TV show.
I think you can reference it, but just like in a very cool and like like just the fans know it, like
Hmm.
reference,
Yeah, yeah.
like that's all you can do. Like you don't have to like do a flashback or stuff like that. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I think right now I don't think like a Daredevil movie or show is right now in the cards for this phase. So I think that will come later down the road. So,
Hmm.
so just right now we're just like reintroducing these characters. I feel like that's where we're at right now. It's just like reintroducing this like universe of Daredevil, So
Hmm.
that's all. So and this is I think this is how like I kind of wish the Hulk universe was like you know before She-Hulk, like when they were rebooting the Incredible Hulk in phase one. I feel like this what should have been right. It's
Hmm.
like slowly introduce these characters by one in either movie. But anyway, um, okay, so we've covered that with that little stuff. I guess let's get into the other one was Elena. Of course, last week, um, we would discuss it was a bit overwhelming that her presence of the show was just like lackluster, lackluster, and this episode completely like blew away. Like first off, the flashback of her and like tying up the Black Widow ending where
Hmm.
the Tasha gave Elena and like the whole like Black Widow group to find the other agents and like try to cure them with the mind wipe or the mind control thing.
Hmm.
And it was really cool to see that in this uh flashback. And what you thought about this and Elena's role overall in this show.
Yeah, no, I really liked the flashback. I mean, I like anything that shows like what happened um like immediately after people came back from the snap.
Yes.
Um yeah, I liked seeing the consequences of Black Widow's story. Um and just like what Yelena was up to after the movie ended.
Yes.
Um yeah, and then just like in the episode, I really liked uh her chemistry with Kate, especially that scene where she was in Kate's
Yes.
apartment. The
Yes.
dialogue in that scene was really fun, or just like the way that um, Florence Pugh like delivered her lines was great.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my god, that scene was really amazing. I love the fact that Liam was making macaroni and cheese, and that was my favorite food
yeah,
dish. And weird, she's gonna put hot sauce. I'm not gonna judge, but okay.
well, people
um,
do that.
oh, no, that's true. My dad also did that too. So,
Mm.
anyways, um, yeah, I really love that conversation, and like, it was great to see like just to see like Alea in post split and like her of course we know she knows that Natasha died and that scene of her bringing up you know Natasha saved the world not Clint was probably my favorite scene and you see and Florence Pugh is a great actress, and she really does a good job of removing her emotions and like see the sadness, and like she does that so well. You
Hmm.
see that in this scene, and that's one of my favorite scenes of the show. Just seeing her sadness of like her sister dying and not getting. I mean, she is getting credit, but like she's the one that saved the world, not Clint or like she's in this like denial of like Clint killed her sister and like he's like like I like how the show is like like challenging Hawkeye. It's like he's giving away so much stuff and like people like he's not taking responsibility to like to condemn his actions
Hmm.
and Clint is like realizing that in this episode that this all has to end and
Yeah.
stuff like that and so I really like that scene of just Elena talking to Kay about, Natasha is the one saved the world, and like just honing in of the themes and the recurring like messages of what the show's talking about and what Hawkeye is, stuff like
Mhm.
that. So, and yeah, and I was so excited to see, both of these actresses. Both of them are my favorite actresses of all time, and it was great to see this scene. And I love how she leave the apartment by using the widow grappling hook in the
Mhm.
window
Yeah,
instead
that
of
was
go.
good.
That was so Batman like. Oh my god! So it was great. Yeah, and speaking of Kate Bishop, I thought Kate Bishop was great in this episode. Um, and speaking of her mom, another thing that definitely tipped uh, off, of her being the bad guy was Jack. He got
Mhm.
arrested, and so he like that like Black Widow like guy who was like the Q. Like a lot of people speculate he was going to be Taskmaster, and like he wasn't. Like is Jack was just like a red herring, and like he's just this you know eccentric billionaire, like getting
Yeah, yeah. I think he got framed by
yeah
Eleanor.
yeah
Um, yeah, I don't know.
yeah
I really I want there to be a season 2 of this.
yeah
Um, and like maybe like Clint isn't in it, but like just a show about Kate Bishop would be fine. That like continued the story
story
that's here.
yeah I if I hope so. Because I I mean, unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna do that because I mean, only Loki is the only one of these shows that got a second season. So I cannot see, you know, a Disney Plus show. But if they're doing the new Avengers, like the Young Avengers,
Hmm.
if that happens, that's where we'll probably see Kate. And but yeah, I hope so because I mean, I I think just having like another like or if they do like a Leia Disney Plus show, that's where we can maybe put Kate there and then maybe we can solve that. But we'll see.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of questions. Like, I mean, unfortunately, Hawkeye is not the most popular character. And, like, I, people is just not. I, I mean, not or not tuning into the show, and despite the reveal, I think people knew that Kingpin was coming. Like I don't think it was a big shock, really, right?
Hmm.
It was just like the question is like, are they gonna do it? And it was like, was it gonna be that true or like, like that way?
Hmm.
So, but yeah. So I wish we have a second season. One Vision. I want a second season for this show, and I don't know. See, yeah. Um. So, and then what else we have to mention? Um. Oh. I guess. What else we have to bring up? Oh. Speaking of the flashback, the character Anne is also from the comics. She was in the Marvel Now Black Widow solo series that was going
Hmm.
on back in 2011, around there. And so that was cool that they brought another comic book character from the Black Widow series. So I do want to mention that. And another thing I do want to mention was Hawkeye, the title sequence. Sometimes they use shooting arrows into the A, and
Hmm.
in this episode we didn't have that. So because we were dealing with other things and it wasn't focused on Clint or Kate at all. We did this with episode 3 when Echo was introduced and we got her origin story. So that's what we did for that. So that was a cool detail I liked from that show. Um, man, I don't know. You like the opening credits? The ending credits? They're still my favorite. I think they've done a really good job of being creative with the end credit scenes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Um, Anything else we have to mention for Elena? Uh,
Um, no, I mean, we've talked about all of her scenes, right?
yeah. Oh, her big scene in the apartment. Yes. Well, it was. We didn't talk about how she blipped. It was cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like so we. It's cool that the shows have been addressing the snap,
Hmm.
and it was cool from WandaVision when Monica was snap, and then seeing her come back in the hospital where her mom was before she passed away in that 5 year gap, and just seeing like hectic, like it was like everyone got back from the snap, and it's like the whole hospital was just so hectic and just out of chaos.
Hmm.
And it was cool from this show how seeing the perspective of the blip, like when you're snapped, it was like you were not like time didn't change around you, but it when you snap back, you saw the change. Like that was a cool way of like just seeing that perspective and like seeing the room change from was it like white into like or like like pastel color into a green bathroom. Like that was really cool, and I really liked that
Hmm.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course seeing the character that they were trying to cure was she wasn't brainwashed. Of course, she was like just a regular contract killer, right? That's what she
Hmm.
say. And then she has now a family and husband, and she has an adopted kid. If you didn't notice that, because they cannot produce kids, and that was like a neat detail to continue what we know about the Black Widow program. So that was neat.
Hmm.
So that's another thing I want to bring up was that I don't know if you like the how they address the blip and how they visualize that. Will.
Yeah, I did. Um, yeah, I don't know. Every time they show people coming back from the blip, it's oh man, I want more of that. I want them to keep doing that because
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. And I like that they're like exploring the implications of people like disappearing for 5 years.
Yes.
Um, and I just wish they'd do it more,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing a good job of addressing the 5 year gap. I
Mhm.
forgot to mention Falcon and Winter Soldier. They mentioned how when people left, they build up the system to support kind of like healthcare and all that. And
Mhm.
then at the same time we have some of these like radical groups that have been rising up during the 5 year gap. So
Mhm.
like we're doing a lot of build up to that 5 year gap between uh, Avengers 21 into Endgame, so which is good. And last thing to mention, it was also it's kind of convenient. I mentioned No Way Home. I'm looking at um, the Easter Gate and references. Leia mentions the Statue of Liberty, and
Mhm.
that is going to be a major thing in Spider-Man No Way Home. And so that was a cool, like, convenient or like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
set up for that
I guess
movie.
we'll figure out what happened to the Statue of Liberty when we see it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. It's great that these shows are somewhat connected, and so like it was cool to yeah do that. So yeah, I think that's all for Elena as a character. I was very happy she came back, and I was so happy we did more with her than last week. I mean, so yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so and then I say, get into Clint. Let's get him out of the way. Clint is always good in this show. I like my favorite scene was him going to the Battle of New York memorial. Um,
Hmm.
that scene was probably Renner's best performance, and just him taking out his hearing aid and just not hearing not all the sounds in the background, and just him talking was probably my favorite scene from the show
Hmm.
and Disney Plus show in general.
Yeah.
I, such a great scene, and just such a powerful scene for him talking about his friend and like him just going back to do the rolling thing for one last time, maybe, right?
Hmm.
What do you thought about that scene, Will?
Yeah. I really like how this show is addressing Natasha's death. Um,
Yes,
like in a way that Endgame kind of failed to, and that Black Widow couldn't do because it was a prequel.
yes,
Yeah. Like you really feel her absence in um in the MCU and in just like Clint's life. Um, and I'm glad that they're exploring that and like
yeah.
showing how important she was to those characters in that world.
No, that's true. I wasn't thinking about that. That's right, Will. I I love Black Widow. She's my second favorite character on the Marvel universe,
Hmm.
and I just didn't like how Endgame and the Black Widow movie like addressed the death. Like Black Widow makes sense because it was a prequel. You're right. Endgame just
Yeah. But why did they just have a funeral for Tony?
yeah. I know
Like
it's weird.
he's
Well,
not the only one who died saving the universe.
yeah, like Vision
Uh,
died, and it's just weird. Yeah, and I that was one of the reasons I like this episode. It's like we are addressing a lot about Natasha and like just her role in the MCU, and I think that's
yeah.
promising. And I like it's not forced in. That's also another thing I like. Um, and it's giving us more the Hawkeye and Black Widow relationship we've seen in the films, and
Hmm.
just adding in more depth into it in this show, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm curious if Hawkeye, that's another thing I was surprised with this episode. We didn't have Hawkeye meet Elena yet. Are we gonna get that in next episode?
Yeah, I
That's
think she's sticking around for the
okay.
next one,
Okay.
which yeah, I just like really didn't expect them to get Florence Pugh for more than one episode. So I'm really glad
Yes.
that that's happening.
Yeah. I don't know if you had that impression, but I had the impression she was gonna be in one episode, and I was kind
Yeah.
of yeah, yeah. Um, I was just shocked that we got so much of her in this episode, and that was good. Uh, yeah. Hopefully we get her in third episode. Hopefully to have Clint talk to her and like get that like resolution on Natasha's death, and like
Hmm.
Elena
Yeah.
understanding that what happened.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I think we talked about this in another episode, but I think it'd be nice for Clint to like invite Yelena to his house for Christmas.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I want that now. Oh, that'd be so like perfect like resolution of the relationship, and starting like a new relationship of a Black
Yeah.
Widow Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I really want that because that would be like the saddest and like Christmas like moment.
Hmm.
Like kind of like how like It's Wonderful Life when the guy's co-workers or friends gave him money, because he lost a job, and like he has his family together. It's like it's kind of like that. We're setting up like this Christmas like festive kind of scene and triumph, right? You usually
Hmm.
see, or like like Natural Balloon's Christmas Vacation, where like uh, oh my god, what's Chevy Chase character's name?
Uh, I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I need, hold on. When he made the perfect Christmas for his like family, like he wanted to create a perfect Christmas, but all of it was in Clark Griswold. I'm sorry. Oh my god. I'm sorry, folks. I love that movie so much, and I don't know how I forgot his character's name. Anyway, like it's gonna be that Christmas moment, right? Like Clint, you know, didn't like save Black Widow, but he can maybe save Alea and like give her what she's been, maybe after for like a family, right?
Hmm.
I think that could work. Oh, Will, you made my day. Oh god, I'm excited to say. Anything else, William, before we get to Kate Bishop? Because yeah, I think she was the MVP of this episode.
Hmm. Yeah, me too. Uh, but I don't think I have anything else to say about her. So
Okay, so we get into Kate Bishop. Uh, she was good. I liked her.
hmm.
Still, I guess I like we like pull her in a rinner and like she this was right after, yeah, this is after before. I like how she was like burned down after the fight and like the conversation she had with Clint, and I like how she didn't give up, and that was kind of cool. I like how we use the was it the arrow, what do you call that thing, the thing you use to shoot the arrows. I can't, oh my god.
Oh, the bow.
The bowl. I'm sorry. Okay. Um, I, I I thought there was something for it. I'm sorry. The bowl that she had like when she was a kid. I like how we use that as like a symbol of her, you know, trying to train and become just like Hawkeye. I like how we use
Hmm.
that in this episode, and
Yeah.
like I like how she just like Clint didn't give up on him, like how he didn't give up on her, Kate,
Hmm.
and so I really like that. And then she had the funny scenes in this episode. I like how she was calling her and some other people, and like the message inbox was full.
Hmm.
That was very funny. Um, yeah. I don't know. Is there much to say about her in this episode? I like.
I mean, you said everything about her like emotional arc in this episode, which I thought was done well.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about her like conversation with Yelena, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of like, yeah. This episode had like jam packed everything, and like they did it so well
Mm.
for this episode, which is good. Um, but yeah. And then I guess one other thing I want to mention, this one was with Clint's wife about like, do you think we confirmed that she's like Mockingbird yet? I'm not sure
I mean,
really.
it's definitely implied that she's like a former spy or something.
Mm,
She has too much like experience and expertise
that's true.
to just be like a normal person.
That's
But we'll
very
see.
true. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I mean, I like Mockingbird from Agents of Shield, so I am kind of curious what they're gonna do with this new version, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, because yeah, if they're gonna do that, that's like we're gonna have now this new version and this universe. Let's see. I don't think it's necessary for this character. I like, can we just say she was just like a spy or like MIT person or whatever in the Shield before, and like Clint, like those two got along and then they got married. Like I don't need like another character and then it's like a combo character. Like I don't know. I don't want to be like Christine Palmer, right? It's
Hmm.
like she's a combo character, but like she's like a totally different character that we reimagined in the movie, and it's like I like what you're doing, but it's just like it's not. I don't know. I mean, I like the actress. She played Valmont in Scooby Doo, and so I mean,
Hmm. Yeah, she's very good.
yeah. So, yeah, yeah. Okay, so overall, like, anything you want to say, Will? Besides, before we head out, um, uh,
Um, I don't know. I mean, this is my favorite episode so
Yes.
far, and I'm excited to see what the finale is going to look like.
Yes, I'm very excited for the finale and the costumes. Um,
Right? Yeah, we haven't seen the.
yeah, which we got a tease from Gills. His name.
Mhm.
In the apartment, and he say one of the other um, people like was designing for Kate and then for Clint
Mhm.
to become costumes. So I'm very
Mhm.
excited for that for next week.
Yeah,
And it's going to be the series finale, which is crazy. Like,
yeah, it is crazy.
yeah,
Went by really quickly,
yeah.
and then we don't know when the next Disney Plus show is going to come out.
No, um, right now we know that fate of next year we're going to get Miss Marvel. I think Moon Knight and Miss Marvel will be the next ones that gonna come early. I
Okay.
feel like, and so, and then like stuff like Echo and Secret Invasion is where I don't know where they're gonna land. So, but we'll probably discuss that more in like another podcast when we discuss our feelings about the Disney Plus show and the ranking, and
Hmm.
then we'll discuss like the future and what they're gonna have. So,
Okay.
yeah. Anything else? Besides besides that, well,
No,
yes,
that's it. I'm just excited for next week. Excited to see Spider-Man today.
yes, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god, yeah, I'm excited for that movie as well, especially for Doc Ock. So yeah, so yeah, all
Hmm.
right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining the podcast. Me, we'll be back for next week for a big spectacular podcast on, of course, the series finale for Hawkeye, and of course, a spoiler podcast on Spider-Man No Way Home. So everyone, have a nice weekend and have a good day. Wait to name the characters, it's like just call them with their ears.
You just do it.
Yeah, so
Um,
I
yeah, I mean, I think that's just a, a relic of the like late 2000s, early 2010s, where
yeah,
superhero stuff was like embarrassed to be superhero stuff.
yeah.
Um,
It's I mean, at least it's I mean, well, it's like far worse for the villains, which I don't
yeah,
like. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I I have no like dogfight about the name, but I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see him call Hawkeye. I mean, we have mentioned Hawkeye a couple of times. I like the joke from
yeah. People have
last
been
week.
calling him Hawkeye throughout the show, at least.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I guess it's because like I never like every time we see this version, it's like we never call him that. We always call him
Hmm.
Clint or Barton, right?
Right.
And I don't know, like it's been like 13 years of the MCU, and it's like it's because it's weird for me, not for you, Will, because it's weird for me because like this universe is not like the superhero universe you're expecting. Like there's no secret identities. I mean,
Hmm.
to have one for Spider-Man, of course now that's out of the bag now because of
No,
Mysterio.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so like scenes like the Lurper people,
Hmm.
um, it, it's because like they know them, like
Right.
and
Yeah, they're celebrities instead
yeah
of yeah.
yeah. So at first you're weird out about it, but then in hindsight, it's like, well, it actually makes sense. I'm with you with that. It's so like it's not like the DC universe where everyone has secret dailies and like have, you know you know lives and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. But I mean, at least we got a good joke for the name Hawkeye. Like the goodness they didn't call you Hawkeye or
Or
Hawkier.
hockey or yeah.
Oh god, I love that show. Oh my. Um, Anything else we have to talk about? I think we covered everything. Um, right? Like, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't talked about Elena, right? Um,
Right, yeah.
and that was like, I think that was our big discussion when every time we were bringing up, oh, like the next show was Hawkeye, and we were excited to see Elena, the Black Widow from the movie, coming
Hmm.
into this show, right? And I was very excited about it because we were now enthused about the show, and now she was coming in, and this episode was it, and I agree with you, Will. Like she felt very short, shoehorned in
Hmm.
lately. Um, like I mean, it was no secret that she was coming. Like that was the thing. It's like people make such a big deal out of it. It was like she was coming. It was just like how she was gonna be in the story was where I'm like, you know. But yeah, I thought it was cool to see her with the goggles, like in the
Hmm.
comics.
Yeah.
Um, I dug the red. Was it widow stinger that you
Hmm.
usually see for the Tasha, which was blue, but here I like it was red. And it was a cool fight, and it was also a cool fight with Echo. I actually dug that whole ending with the fight for all yeah, four people, um and I was kind of surprised she didn't talk. That was the thing. But then, like how she was able to talk, during this commotion, right? And so,
Hmm.
but overall, it was underwhelmed for me, and I was like, okay. So I was like, I think I was more engaged with Clint and Kate's relation than the whole like Elena was in the show. And fine, but that's my opinion.
Hmm.
So I think you were right. It was like she felt very shorthand, and hopefully she does more for next episode. You know, but then I kind of feel like we don't need her. I like well we need her because like we've been talking about Black Widow in the show too. So I I just feel like we need to address the Endgame stuff. Um, like we should address more of the Tasha death more because the
Hmm.
Black Widow movie didn't do it well, and I I feel like they should have a chance to kind of um like finally satisfy me to address the Tasha's death more properly than the Black Widow movie did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Um,
I what do you think? Um,
I mean, I think it definitely has the opportunity to do that. I don't know if it has the time to do that in the next two episodes and also do everything that the show is trying to do.
yeah, and that's my concern.
Yeah.
Moving for this week's um yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. Hopefully it goes well. Um, okay, I think we addressed Elena finally. I'm kind of happy. Um, I think this was a pretty dense episode. Like there was a lot going on for this episode.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. Um, and, and man, 2 more weeks, 2 more episodes, and that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, next Friday is Spider-Man No Way Home. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, yeah. Oh my god, my friends, because my best friend Chris' birthday is next week.
Hmm.
Wants to see this film um badly, and oh my god, I'm not ready. I am not ready for next Sunday to see this film. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I'm seeing it too. It's next Sunday.
Okay, next Sunday. Okay, because yeah. So after I'm done with you doing the podcast, I'm gonna hit to the movie theaters and see with them. And
Hmm.
I think we're having discussion at seeing another film. It's the new Guillermo Guillermo del Toro film, Nightmare Alley.
Hmm.
With Bradley Cooper and Kate Blanchett. So that's exciting. Well, hopefully I can find the right times. But yeah, thank you, Will, for joining me. This was a very productive discussion on episode 4. Uh, any last thoughts before we head out?
I mean, I feel like I've been pretty critical of the show
Yeah,
today. I just want to say, like, I am enjoying it. Like, it's fun. Like, I do like it.
yeah. I'm been neutral. I've been. I mean, what was the word I just say right now? Neutral. I've been neutral with the show. I mean,
Mhm.
it's giving me what I want: character development and action, and that's all I want from my shows, you know. And
Yeah,
they're doing a good job with that. Uh,
yeah. I just wanted this one to be fun, and it has been.
oh
Um,
yes. Um. Yeah. No. 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 I think this is fun. It's um like I don't like dogging the fucking Winter Soldier, but because we've been mentioning how similar it is. The
mhm.
one thing that the show doesn't have where I can enjoy this show more is because it's not like it's not political heavy like that show was. Like
Yeah, it doesn't like take itself seriously,
yeah,
and it's not. It doesn't have like a serious message behind it the way Falcon and the Winter Soldier did.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
which like I liked the message of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I think I enjoy the levity of a show that doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and
I agree.
also I'm not sure how well Falcon and the Winter Soldier did at
I think it did.
exploring the political message. It did okay.
Yeah,
It didn't fail, but it
well,
wasn't. It could have done better.
yeah. Well, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of people are saying this has been the lowest watch for a Hawkeye for a Disney Plus show for
Yeah,
Marvel, and I mean, I guess I don't know, like maybe it's because the conversation has been kind of like similar to the Falcon Winter Soldier, but like it hasn't been like I don't know,
well,
it's lacking something. Like for me, it's not like Loki where that was so exciting because not only Tom Hiddleston was heading for a show finally, like having his
mhm.
own like spotlight, but like it also had like a fan theory that became true with Kane
Mhm.
and like
Right.
that became like it became fruition. And like it wasn't like um a misdirect like a One Division or this show is like heading to actually.
Yeah. I don't know if you could call the WandaVision one a misdirect.
No, no, no.
I think
It
the
was
fans misdirected themselves.
exactly. But it didn't hurt
Um,
the show. I mean, people liked it.
yeah.
Like
No,
there's
I love WandaVision's still
yeah,
my favorite of the shows.
yeah, exactly. And um, it I don't know. Like I think like well, and also I feel like One Division and Loki had like personality, and
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like this show kind of is lacking in it, but like it's not too much like Falcon and Winter Soldier where it did lack
Yeah.
personality.
I I think the reason that viewership is down on this one is just because like WandaVision was it had the benefit of being the first one. So people were tuning in to see what a Marvel Studios like TV show would look like.
Right,
Um, and then it was like weird. So people were like tuning in to see what it was about.
right.
And then it was really well done. So they stayed. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like riding off of WandaVision's success. And also, I know like Sebastian Stan is really popular. So I'm sure there were people that were just watching it for him. Loki, same thing with Tom Hiddleston. And also just like the character of Loki is really interesting.
Yes.
Whereas Hawkeye has like consistently been like the butt of the joke. Like, who cares about Hawkeye? So
Yeah.
it's not surprising that his show is the one that gets the lower viewership. I don't think it's necessarily a comment on the quality of the show.
No. 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 I think you're right, Will. Yeah. And especially with this Leia inclusion, like I mean, it has been discussion for a while, but like in this episode, it was like underwhelming, and like it didn't like that wasn't the main discussion for this week. But
Right.
yeah, I agree with your statement. And yeah, and the most part, I enjoyed the Winter Soldier stuff in that show than the Falcon stuff because that was just all over the place. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very curious about the next year with the new Disney Plus shows. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah. There aren't any that I'm like excited about.
Mm, yeah. I when we get done with this show, Hawkeye, I'm hoping we can do a
Mhm.
podcast on a like an overall review of Disney Plus shows and like do a ranking, and
Okay.
then like because I really want to have that discussion because it's been very fun for this whole year, and I'm curious how it's gonna be for next year, you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
and like what setups we're gonna get because One Division is a very important show to see before you see Doctor Strange too, you know,
Hmm.
in the multiverse of madness, and um and then Loki as well because Loki's you know has a season two, and that's kind of curious um, where that's gonna go. So I'm very curious to have a more broad discussion of the Disney Plus shows, how they did, what was the positive and the negatives, and like and how we rank these shows. And we also had to include What If because that is also connected.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'll discuss that, in a later date. So,
Yeah. Okay.
anything else to discuss? I think we covered everything with this show in episode 4.
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
Okay, that's cool. Well, thank you, Will. This is, I think, the most enjoyable discussion we have for this show. It's been very fun. Uh,
Yeah, I've had fun too.
yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Will.
Yeah.
So no further ado, me will be back for next week for episode 5. So have a good weekend, you guys, and hit that subscribe button and see you guys soon. Bye.